Everyone, this is a short demo of HastyDocs. Here is a basic view of application, where in one view we display both documentation and the code base. In order to see documentation and code, you can connect as many repositories as you want, and you can see all of them in this menu. But if you have docs and code in one repo, there is no problem with that. You just display different parts of the same repo on the both sides. So why have we created this view? The basic premise of the app is that besides the most high-level conceptual docs, almost all documentation is connected to the code base. Docs describe some features of the product which are implemented in the code base, so that when the code base changes, the documentation should be reviewed if it needs an update. So HastyDocs creates a structured framework based on which you can automatically test if documentation is up to date, but more about it later. So in the first step, when you set up the application, you need to create links of the parts of documentation to the code base that reflects these parts of documentation. The links are created by tagging parts of the docs and the corresponding code base. Basically, anything in the app can be linked, especially code samples, pictures and screenshots, and of course headings and sections of the documentations. Of course, more than one link can be created to the same text or the code. Okay, now you have links in the docs created and the application is set up. What's next? As we are connected to your repository and have a read-only access to your code base, the application monitors all the changes, and when the code change, which had a link in HastyDocs, will notify you about it. So here I'm creating a small change and committing that to master. For now, we are sending you an email about this change, and from that point, you enter the app and you can see notification icon. And when you click on it, you can clearly see on the left which part of the documentation should be reviewed due to changes in the code base on the right. You can clearly see what was in the old version of the code, where the changes were made and where the link was, which was indicated by yellow color. And on the right, you can see new version so that you can easily assess if the docs should be updated or not. So in this view, you should also update the link to the code dependent on the scope of the changes by tagging it on the right. So let's make the same scope. So all the links are now up to date and ready for the future changes. You quit and the application is up to date. So to sum up, HastyDocs creates a structured framework based on which you can automatically test if the docs are up to date without the need to depend only on the human memory and communication in teams that increasingly are distributed. Thank you.